jungle had once been silent, but in 1894, that silence was broken. Steel rails carved through the heart of Teluk Anson, and every day the iron beast came roaring. A British steam train, louder than thunder, heavier than anything the forest had ever known. From the shadowed trees, a herd of elephants watched. Their world had changed. The ground no longer belonged to them. The river paths were cut in two. And once, that train took more than just land. It took a calf, a baby, crushed beneath steel wheels, gone in a scream of smoke and steam. They say elephants never forget, and one never forgave. A giant bull, the herd's leader, father, protector, began to wait. Not out of rage, but out of something deeper. Grief sharpened by time, a memory that burned each time the train thundered past. For months, he waited. And then came September 17th, 1894. The train barreled down the line once more, 50 miles per hour, whistling through the trees. But this time, he stepped onto the tracks, alone, massive, unyielding. He didn't flinch, didn't run, didn't move. He stared down the iron beast and refused to let it pass. The British engine driver saw him too late. Brakes screamed, steel shrieked. The train slammed into the elephant, and the forest shook. 3 coaches derailed, metal twisted like paper. 2 railwaymen lost their lives. But many more survived. Because the elephant had taken the worst of it, absorbed the blow with his body, his grief, his love. Right where his calf had died, he made his final stand. The villagers didn't call it madness. They called it memory. They called it love. They say he knew what he was doing, that this was no accident, that this was the act of a father, a guardian, a warrior, one who could no longer protect the living, but would not let the dead be forgotten. His body was too large to move, so the British buried him where he fell, beneath the jungle canopy, beneath the tracks. A sign was placed. Here lies a wild elephant who, in defense of his herd, derailed a train. His skull, the largest ever recorded in Malaya, and his tusks now sit in a museum. But his spirit remains in the jungle, in the rusted tracks, in the trees that grew around his grave, in the stories whispered by the wind. He was not just an elephant. He was a father. He was history. He was a heartbeat strong enough to make the world stop and remember. Because elephants don't forget. And sometimes they make sure we don't either. This is not fiction. It happened in Teluk Anson, Malaysia. A love's endurance transcends death, and a love's memory echoes through the heart, long after the world moves on.